Welcome to Video 1, Introduction, from the Leadership Toolkit in the Safe and Effective Use of AI in Education Online Resources. We are living through a period of significant technological change, with artificial intelligence, or AI, beginning to reshape how we lead, communicate and deliver education. From streamlining administrative processes to supporting operations, workload, teaching, CPD, inclusion and personalised learning, AI offers real potential to enhance the way schools and colleges function and to support staff in powerful new ways. But if we decide to adopt these tools, it's more important than ever that we move in a considered and safe way, with humans at the heart of everything we do.
So there are many opportunities that AI brings to help us with teaching and learning, and indeed with the administration of being an educator, running a school, running a college too. But of course, there are risks associated with artificial intelligence, and these risks relate to many features of that artificial intelligence. So, for example, we can think about the lack of transparency that often exists in the AI technologies that we're using. In fact, even the people who are building them don't always know how they work. We also need to recognise that there's inherent bias often in these AI technologies because they use machine learning, and that machine learning is trained on data sets that are not necessarily representative of the populations that the AI is then designed to serve. But we also have a whole load of safeguarding risks that we need to take into account when we look at the use of AI in education. And these range from protecting children's intellectual property to protecting children from the lack of transparency in these systems, protecting children from fake news and images, protecting children from profiling, and protecting children from over-reliance. And there are others in addition to this. So we do need to be careful that we mitigate the risks if we're going to be able to leverage the opportunity. I always say to educators, learn fast, but act more slowly. Do not feel pressurized to buy into an AI. Do not feel pressurized to select an AI tool until you are ready. It's really important that you learn enough about artificial intelligence first so that you can decide what purpose you want the AI to serve you, and then design the way that you interact with AI strategically.
We sat around the leadership table and said, right, this is going to be a really big thing for schools, a really big thing for education. Who's going to take a lead? And everybody looked away except for me, I think, at that stage. But actually, I was interested. My role is about teaching and learning, and I thought it's going to have a huge impact there. So step one was research and finding out more. I didn't have any expertise in AI or anything particularly technological. So research was key. And I kicked off, I think, at the Festival of Education. And I saw two really interesting talks there. We had Daisy Christodoulou and Dan Fitzpatrick. And they were two polar opposite talks. One very excited about what AI can bring to education, one far more cautious. And that really helped me as a leader because that was the first step in us taking a very balanced approach, I think. And then I was looking what's available on the internet in terms of guidance for schools. And obviously with the brand new technology, there really wasn't very much in the first instance. And I was even looking at guidance from a department in Germany in the first instance. It was really interesting sort of seeing what was and what wasn't out there. But then the next stage was, right, we need to do some staff training. Normally with a strategy in schools, you'd start with the strategy and then work backwards for it. But for us, we thought students are going to be using this straight away, and our teachers need to know what it is. They need to know how it works. They need to know what the risks are, how to use it safely, what the opportunities are. So in that 1st September, we got straight on with some training for staff with those basics. And then carried on with our research and thought, actually, until we understand more, we're going to keep AI locked down at the school. We were cautious at the start. So we had everything pretty much blocked in the first instance until we knew a little bit more. The next stage then was, once we felt staff had the training that they needed to use it effectively and safely, to open up those tools, let them have a play, let them explore, see what resources they can create from it. And alongside that, as that was beginning to play out, we then thought strategy. Okay, what are we going to be looking at in the long term? And again, lots of training on my behalf. I went out and did, lots of webinars and training days. Some really interesting materials from Rose Luckin, if anybody wants a tip there. And we went out to our stakeholders. So we asked our governors, our students, our staff, our parents. We were looking at what was their current usage, were they using it, what do they know about it, do they feel confident about it, what sort of things were they using it for, also what were their worries, what were their concerns, really hearing those voices and understanding for our context what it meant for us. And all of that we then took back to SLT and we said, right, what's our SIP? What are our school priorities? What are we trying to achieve?
We need to have a clear understanding of AI's potential and pitfalls when deciding how and if we will implement it in our setting. This toolkit has been developed through wide engagement with school staff. We asked a wide range of school and college staff for their views on AI, and their input has directly informed our approach. We know that leaders, like teachers, hold a range of views. Some are enthusiastic, others are cautious or unsure where to begin. This toolkit is designed to support you as a leader, whether you're just starting to explore AI or already integrating it into your systems. It accompanies the 4-module staff toolkit. We recommend that as a leader, you also use the staff toolkit to support you in your role. If you don't already have an understanding of how AI works, or you don't have much experience of using AI, we recommend working through the staff toolkit to give you the foundational knowledge this toolkit will build on. It reflects the Department for Education's policy position. This is set out in the Generative Artificial Intelligence in Education document. We also refer to the need to ensure you align your use of AI with the Generative AI product safety standards. It introduces the key issues you need to know about generative AI, whether you're a leader in a school or college or have another leadership role in an education setting. Between each video, you will be able to reflect on the content and note plans, as well as access a checklist of what was covered in the video. As a leader of an education setting, this toolkit will help you plan for the safe and effective use of AI in education as part of your wider digital strategy, so it benefits all of your staff. It should be used in conjunction with meeting digital and technology standards in schools and colleges guidance. It also includes areas you will need to consider for your strategy, such as safety, assessing suitable tools, safeguarding, data protection, intellectual property; opportunities, reducing workload, supporting inclusion, and supporting business and operations; embedding AI into your digital strategy, including CPD and digital standards; and DFE guidance, including policy paper, the product safety framework, data protection guidance, keeping children safe in education, and the digital standards. We recommend that you work through this toolkit with colleagues, and you may decide to explore each video in a series of meetings, reflecting and gathering information before moving on to the next.